Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm gonna make some chickpea vegetarian curry. I have 2 cans of chickpeas here and it's gonna be served with rice. And I'm also gonna add some of my homegrown carrots and some rutabaga, very few pieces. I'm gonna chop these up. I'm gonna chop up my onion, and I have garlic that's preserved in olive oil from my fridge that I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use just one of these Thai chili peppers because I haven't really tried yet as far as how hot that is. I'm assuming it's pretty hot, so we'll see because I have more if I need to add. I'm gonna use some of these beat up tomatoes. I'm gonna just get rid of the bad parts and chop it up. Once I have everything chopped up, I'll be back and we're gonna put together the spice mix. I'm gonna go ahead and start first sauteing my onions and vegetables, and also I'm gonna start cooking my rice at the same time. So for the rice, I always put a little bit of oil into the pan, and I'm gonna use a 1 to 1.5 ratio rice versus water. So I'm gonna make a good amount of rice because this will make me probably 4 servings. So 1 cup of rice, I'll put this in the oiled pan, and I'm gonna toast the rice just a little bit, maybe for a minute, not even that much, in the oil. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go get a 1.5 cups of water. So after I toasted the rice a little bit, I'm gonna pour in the water. So 1 cup rice, 1.5 cup water, a big pinch of salt. I'll bring this to the boil and then I cover it and cook it for 15 minutes. Now for the curry, I have this pot heating up. I'm gonna use a good tablespoon of butter, and I may add more later as I go. Butter and a little bit of oil so my butter doesn't burn. And I'm gonna add my 1 cup of chopped onion. I'm going to add about a cupful of chopped carrots and rutabaga. Now if you don't have these, you can use other things like apple, you can use sweet potatoes, you can use pears, anything other than just your main vegetable, which is the bean, just to make it sweeter. And it adds to the bulk of your sauce as well. Same goes for the tomatoes. So this is about a 1.5 cups chopped tomatoes. If you don't have tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, then you can use tomato paste or tomato sauce. Same amount, a 1.5 cups tomato sauce, a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste. If you don't have any of those, then you can just use a little bit of ketchup, like a 1/2 cup of ketchup, and that will make it also sweet. It's not gonna hurt. So for the rice, I make sure that it's boiling. Turn it down to low, just until it slowly boils. Cover it and time it for 15 minutes. While my vegetables are sauteing, I'm gonna start making my spice mix, only because I like to put them all at once into the pot. So I'm gonna measure them into this little bowl. I love cardamom, so I'm gonna use a good teaspoon of that cardamom powder. I need to order some more. I buy this in bulk. The next thing I want to add is some lemongrass powder. about the same amount. 1 teaspoon, big teaspoon. Next I want to add is garam masala. Then I have this spice called Arabian. I bought this in Abu Dhabi like probably 7 years ago. Still perfect. I think it has like cinnamon in it potentially and other things, curry. I'm not sure, but I like it. And a little bit of cumin. Just a half teaspoon. I don't want it to be overpowering. And only because I have it, I'm gonna add cilantro powder. If you have fresh cilantro, you can use that instead. And these couple of things probably gonna be questionable for some people, but I'm gonna add garlic and onion powder as well, because even though I have onion in here and I'm gonna add fresh garlic, this will have a different dimension of taste. When it's dried out, it gives it a sort of like a toasty taste to begin with. So I'm gonna put a teaspoon of garlic powder and onion powder, same amount. Okay, and that's gonna be all my spices. Let's mix the rice a little bit. It feels like every time I make curry, it's a little bit different because I add different things in it, whatever I have at hand, but the basic ingredients like onion and garlic and some of these spices definitely I always put in into the curry. That's what makes the curry, right? And some kind of tomato product as well. That's always a standard in my curries. And one more thing you may want to add is some turmeric for color and of course for the taste, but I'm only putting like a half a teaspoon. I'm not a big fan of it, but I like the color. I will be sauteing this for about 10 minutes, nice and slow, and at that point I'm going to put in my spices and the garlic. I'm done sauteing my vegetables. I think I'm going to put a little bit more butter in this. I started out with 1 tablespoon. I'm going to put another one in. Let that melt in. Now notice that I have not put any salt in here, and the reason I did that because my homegrown vegetables seems to be naturally salty, and I just tasted it, like my carrots and rutabaga and tomato, they were added in here in this mix, and it gives it a salty taste already. And when I add my beans, those have been also preserved with salt, so I don't feel that I need to put any additional salt in this yet. We'll see, we'll adjust as we go. Now my rice is almost ready as well. So how do you know it's done sauteing? If it starts sticking to the bottom like this, then you've done enough sauteing, you have enough tasty crumbles on the bottom of your pan. That's gonna add taste into the sauce. So the next thing I want to do is add my garlic. Have that sauteed a little bit so it's not going to be raw. And I'm going to put a bunch in here. I'm probably going to put about a head of garlic in here. by the time I'm done. So about 6 to 8 cloves. But that's the way I like it. You do you. Okay, so the garlic is in there. Let that saute just for a minute. And next thing I'm gonna do is add the spice mix. Let that bloom a little bit by sauteing it a little bit with the vegetables. I'm also gonna add some black pepper. Not typical probably, but I like it. I think the main thing you want to do is not over spice it. People think that more is better. You have to be careful. You want to taste not just the spices, but are your vegetables and your beans as well. Okay, I'm gonna add this hot pepper. Cut it into half and maybe even make a slit here so it can be hot. Okay, now I have everything here I wanted to add, and I'm gonna pour in my canned beans with liquid and all. That will create my sauce. Let's stir this up, bring it to boil. Remember I put in the cold canned beans. My rice is done, perfectly steamed. I'll just fluff it up here. And just cover it back up, take it off the heat so it stays nice and moist. So I'm gonna cover my curry and I'm gonna cook this for about 20 minutes. While you were not looking, I chopped up some basil from my garden and some green onions. And I'm gonna add these at the last few minutes. I just want to have some green color in here. You can also add parsley if you have it. That would be good in here. And of course you can add fresh cilantro. So let's dish this up. A little bit of rice. And plenty of curry. Here's the final dish. I'm gonna serve myself with some cucumber salad. And I added some more hot pepper in case it's not hot enough. It's going to be delicious. See you next time.